A quaint village thrives at the edge of a deep, mysterious forest. Amidst the lively scene, children play innocently, their laughter echoing through the village square. Villagers bustle through the streets, each absorbed in the rhythm of their daily routines. Cheerful Red, in her crimson cloak, skips through the village, her red hood a vibrant splash of color. In the cozy warmth of her home, Red's mother lovingly prepares a basket, her touch gentle as she places warm bread inside. Beside the bread, she nestles a bottle of sweet tea, completing the care package with a mother's touch. Turning to Red, her eyes sparkle with affection, a silent promise of protection in her loving smile. With heartfelt tenderness, Mother imparts a crucial warning. Be careful, my dear, and do not stray from the path. Her words hang in the air, a blend of concern and hope, as Red prepares to embark on her journey. Red steps onto the mossy forest path, where sunlight filters through the canopy, creating an idyllic yet subtly ominous scene. Birdsong fills the air, masking an underlying sense of unease that permeates the ancient woods. The dappled sunlight dances across the forest floor, casting shadows that hint at hidden dangers. The serene facade of nature belies an impending darkness as Red ventures deeper into the woods. Red strides confidently along the forest path, the sunlight dappling through the canopy above. The wolf appears, his demeanor surprisingly polite, his fur neatly groomed and his smile almost disarming. The wolf's greeting is smooth. Good day, little one. Such a lovely day for a walk. Where might you be headed? Red replies, I'm going to my grandmother's house. She's not feeling well, and I'm bringing her some treats. Sunlight streams through the forest canopy, illuminating the sly glint in the wolf's eyes. Take this path, little one. It's much prettier, the wolf suggests, gesturing with his snout. Red, unsuspecting, begins to follow the wolf's directions, venturing down the longer path. The wolf grins to himself, hurrying off on the shorter route, his plan unfolding. The lone wolf approaches grandmother's quaint cottage, its shadow stretching long in the daylight. A sinister knock echoes against the wooden door, breaking the tranquility of the day. His voice dripping with deceit, the wolf attempts to lure his prey. It's me, Grandma, Little Red. He waits, disguised as innocence, as the sound of his words hangs in the air. The cottage remains silent, a deceptive calm before the impending storm. In the quaint cottage, a shadowy wolf stealthily infiltrates, his eyes gleaming with malicious intent. In a horrifying instant, the grandmother vanishes within the wolf's gaping maw. The wolf, now bloated, awkwardly begins to dress in the grandmother's garments, a ghastly impersonation. The wolf, grotesque in disguise, settles into the grandmother's bed. The predator waits, a chilling stillness filling the room as he anticipates Red's arrival. The cottage, once a haven, now holds a chilling secret. A wolf in grandmother's clothing, eagerly awaiting Little Red Riding Hood. Red walks along the winding forest path, sunlight dappling through the trees. She pauses, her attention caught by a cluster of wildflowers. Lost in the beauty of the forest, Red bends to gather the wildflowers. Unaware, she delays her journey, as danger lurks just around the bend. Eerie shadows stretch and twist across the walls of grandmother's dimly lit cottage, creating an atmosphere of deep unease. Red cautiously steps into the cottage, her senses heightened as an unnatural stillness fills the air. A wave of unease washes over Red as she ventures further inside, the silence amplifying her growing sense of dread. Her voice trembling slightly, Red calls out into the silent cottage, "Grandma, are you all right?" Red strides confidently into the quaint cottage, her woven basket swaying gently, as innocence dances in her eyes. Beneath the deceptive guise of the grandmother, the wolf lurks, his eyes gleaming with predatory hunger. He attempts a smile, but the crude mask falters. With a voice dripping with false tenderness, the wolf beckons, "Come closer, my dear, so I can see you better." Red pauses, her youthful innocence unaware of the sinister deception. Red enters the cozy cottage, her eyes scanning the familiar space, a sense of unease settling over her. Her gaze locks onto the figure in the bed, a wolf cloaked in Grandma's garments. A flicker of realization crosses Red's face as she recognizes the disguised wolf. With a trembling voice, Red utters, "Grandma, what big eyes you have." Eerie shadows flicker across the walls of Grandmother's cottage, casting the room in a sinister light. The wolf's eyes gleam with predatory intent. A chilling reply echoes through the cottage as the wolf's disguise falters, revealing its true nature. "The better to see you with, my dear." The wolf's words hang in the air, its disguise now completely abandoned. The cottage is shrouded in shadow, a sense of foreboding hanging heavy in the air. Red steps inside, her eyes searching the corners of the room, a knot of unease tightening in her stomach. She moves further into the room, her footsteps echoing softly on the wooden floor. She pauses, her gaze settling on the figure in the bed. Red approaches the bedside, a question forming on her lips, a tremor of fear in her voice. "Grandma, what big ears you have," Red exclaims, her voice barely a whisper in the oppressive silence. In Grandmother's cottage, the wolf, cloaked in her garments, rests in the bed, a subtle shift betraying its predatory nature. The air grows heavy, charged with the wolf's mounting anticipation. The wolf's patience snaps, revealing its true form as it snarls, "The better to hear you with, my dear." The cottage is filled with a palpable sense of impending danger, an atmosphere thick with dread. In her grandmother's quaint cottage, Red's eyes widen in dawning horror as she recoils in disbelief. Her voice trembles as she utters in disbelief, "Grandma, what big teeth you have." Red stumbles backward, her face a mask of terror. The room seems to shrink around her as Red's words hang in the air, unanswered. The horrifying revelation transforms the cozy cottage into a scene of pure dread. A woodsman bursts onto the scene, axe raised, responding to the desperate sounds. With decisive action, the woodsman slices open the wolf's belly. The lifeless wolf is moved aside, revealing Grandmother, miraculously unharmed. Red rushes to Grandmother, embracing her tightly as tears of relief flow freely. From that day forward, Red remembers to be cautious and wise, always heeding her mother's warnings.